All right, here we go with this new oddball. 60 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. Hundred. 1, 2, 3, 4. Twenty. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brain fart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I can get 140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess so. All right. Number 2. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hundred. 1, 2, 3, 4. $140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 3. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that again. I'm trying to pop my thumb and play at the same time. Not a good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, number 4 is up and down your C scale, aka the C Ionian mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hundred. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Change this over. Alright, so far you got the first 3 suspended second chords are done. So first things that you did was you played each string, you said what the interval number you're playing. So C is the first interval, E is the third, G is the fifth, C is the first, E is the third. So doing the suspended seconds, identifying the third interval within the chord shape and then lowering that note to the very next note in key is the easiest way to do it when it allows. So in this case, obviously the C stays the same because that's the root note. Well, E is the 3, so it needs to get dropped down to the very next note in key, which you did, which is D. That's the 2. G is the 5, so that stays the same. C is the 1, that stays the same. E is the 3. You can't drop the E, open E string down to a D, so what you did is you took the G note and added that to the high E string so we can still use the high E string. Okay. And then the D minor. So D is the 1, that stays the same. A is the 5, that stays the same. There's D again, so that's the 1, stays the same. F is your flat third. And also, I mean, look at that, right there in the Dorian shape. Flat third, it's right in there. Right in there. Okay, so he has the F. The note that comes before F is E, so we take the F, lower it to the open E string. That gets you the D suspended second or D sus2 short. So, this next one is a weird one. So, again, we're going to name the intervals per string you played. So E is the 1, that stays the same. B is the 5, that stays the same. E is the 1, we can move that over. G is the flat 3. Again, the flat 3 is showing up here in your mode stuff. So we can't lower the open G string down to the next note in key, which is F. So what you did is you took one of the 3 notes in our chord and you added it to the G string so you could still use the G string. Well, let's see what other strings we can just keep. So the B note again, that's the 5, that stays. E note, high open E string, that's the 1, so that stays the same. So you, out of the E, F, and B, well, let's just go through all 3. So if you add in an E note to the B or the G string, it would be on the 9th fret. Good luck playing that. If you added the F to the G string, well, it'd be even harder. So then B is certainly the obvious one. Now, the next thing you did was you found a place to easily add in an F note. Now, some people will try and take the open E string and make that an F, but we don't want to do that. We want to keep E as the bass note. So then we go to the next string. Okay, well, can you change that B note to an F? I mean, well, if you did, you'd have that chord shape, and that would be ridiculous, so no. So then we go up to the next string. So that's an E note there, and that's the one that you rose up to an F. So yes, that gives us our chord, which in this case is the E suspended flat second. So we have to say it's a flat second because F is a half step up from E, which is a flat second interval, also known as a minor second. So let's go to this one. So when you're doing this, you basically do the same idea. You're going to see what you can keep and then see what needs to be changed. So hint, 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 big hint right here. You don't have to use all the strings in making the new chord. Sometimes you'll need to get rid of some strings in order to reach a playable shape. Okay? So then you go through each one and identify what the interval is. Find the 3 or the flat 3 that needs to be replaced. So when you're doing the suspended seconds, you have to lower that 3 down to the next note in key. Use your suspended use your suspended chord explanation PDF, so this way you can see what the chord name is in each position. And it's really just like a matter of just matching things. You know, if you're in position 1, you see, well, what chords are in position 1. If you're in position 2, you look, well, right, well, where's the highlighted Roman numeral 2, and so on. So let's go. So after you fill out your sus2s, send me a copy or send me a photo of it and let you know how it looks. So let's just do that. When you get to suspended 4s, and I'll do the C sus4 here, just so you see what it's like. So the same idea. You identify, figure out what the 3 is. So we know that the E note here on the D string was your 3rd. So the C stays the same. You're going to take the E and raise it up to the next note in key, which is F. So you put in the F there. G is the 5, that stays the same. Your C is the 1, that stays the same. And then you can take here's the 3rd interval again, the open E string. Well, now, because we're raising it up to the next note in key, we can just do that here. We don't need to make it a G note again. We just make it an F. So that gives you the C sus4. Okay? So basically you find the 3 or the flat 3 and you lower it to the next note in key for the sus2s, and for the sus4s you take the 3rd interval or flat 3rd and raise it to the next note in key. And it's not always going to be a sus2, it's not always going to be a sus4. There's a couple oddballs in the group, so use that suspended chord explanation sheet to double check your answers. Okay? And then once you have stuff filled out, go ahead and take a photo, send it over. I'll let you know how it looks, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I'll see you again in a couple weeks, and I'll be on the lookout for your theory work answers.